Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to another installment of Podcast Pundits. I'm Drayman. I'll be your host today, avid Man United fan, as you already know. Let's go around the room. This is our first ever virtual recording, so we'll see how the audio comes out. We hope it's still clear, crystal clear for everyone listening to us. Let's go around the room, see who we've got with us today. Starting with Marley Mar.
Yeah, Marley Mar here, Man United supporter. As Drayman mentioned, this is a real fresh off the press feeling on the back of a defeat. Man, let's talk about it,
man. Moving on. Next guest.
Is De La Strada, free agent. Nothing much to say. I could ask for a clap because of the whole city stuff, but I won't go there. So let's just keep it moving with the intros.
You
never ever received a clap on the back of their success, bruv. Hell no.
What, De La Strada just tried to get a guard of honor?
Yeah.
No,
bro, why did you choose Newcastle over them? Out of curiosity, obviously you're not with them anymore. But why
I didn't choose anyone. I didn't choose anyone.
Let the record show that you chose Newcastle.
Okay, that's easy.
You know what? I think it was forced to choose a Newcastle because Newcastle beat Arsenal, so he wanted to get you guard of honor.
Yeah, short-sightedness.
Yeah,
it works.
It wants a film, but we'll move on. We'll move on. Strives.
Yo, what you saying, man, bro? You pretty much just introduced me. That's my name, Strives or Striver. Yeah, man. Arsenal don't play until Monday, which is tomorrow. So I don't even know why I'm here, man. I'm on annual leave, but I'll try and chip in where I can.
Yeah, fair play. Thanks for joining.
So Strives, how long did it take you to do your background?
It didn't take me that long. I'm a whiz still. I'm a whiz with the computer, bro. It took me like about 30 seconds. Well, you want one?
No, just thinking you got time.
This part evidently won't make the cut, bro. They want to see the background, bro. Remember?
Yeah, he's wed out for his on as well.
Last but not least.
Yo, it's your boy Joey the Fanatic, aka Liverpool's #1 supporter, aka the champions elect, according to some people. It's been a great weekend, man. So yeah, here to talk about some football, man. Let's have it.
Cool. Before we get into it, you can find us on all major platforms, podcast.pundits, _. We won't roll through them because there's so many, but find us on anyone. Even on YouTube, you can find us. Just give us a like, give us a comment, interact with us. We love interacting with our fans, so keep it going. But only be right to start with the main game today, where it was Man City 3, Man United 1. Foden scored twice as City come from behind after Marcus Rashford's wonder strike. And it was an interesting game from a United perspective. But if I put it to you, Marley Mar, is there anything more that ETH could have done in this game with regards to how he set out his team?
No, I wouldn't say so, to be fair. I think going into the game, everyone kind of anticipated to see what we would see, like Man City dominating the ball, having large spells of possession, and Man United's best hope in getting something out of the game was a counter-attacking approach. It just so happened. I mean, we could have been two or three goals up in the first probably 30 minutes, I would say, and that would have been a real smash and grab. But yeah, man, when you're not putting your chances away, obviously, evidently over 90 minutes, you're not going to get a lot of chances, bruv. So, bruv, your chances of taking something away from the game is going to be like slim to none. So yeah, man, it was to be expected. I'd say.
It was a bit of a flash in the pan, though, wasn't it, when Rashford kind of scored those goals, and he does tend to score in big games, but he seemed to be like good goals as well. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect him to score something like that today. Even when we scored that, I'm thinking there's still a long way to go in this game. We could tire ourselves out way quicker than we're gonna. I should say I didn't expect us to last 90 minutes set up like that, even though we've got one goal. So like we said before, those chances that we had to leave and go like maybe 2 or 3-0 up, I just feel like we didn't use our possession properly when we was in their half or when we was attacking. So that sometimes like we spread the ball out wide, or people, how can I say, people couldn't control the ball properly, or they picked the wrong pass, or we'd take the pass backwards. It was weird. It was such a thing, because when you're playing that counter-attacking game, it's like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's. I would say it's a tough one to take, but it really isn't. It really isn't. Like, I think coming up against Man City this season, particularly, like it's almost like you kind of accept that you're not going to get 3 points. You're not going to get much out of the game before it's even started. Not all teams, but definitely Man United in this season. And it just so happens, yeah, man, we've got a lot of players that are Ginals, man. Like Marcus Rashford is a Ginal, bruv. He clapped a worldie, top bins, and then he goes absolutely missing throughout the rest of the game. Like I don't know, man. He is someone compared him to Theo Walcott today. And I wanted
Raf.
hold tight, Raf. I wanted to rebuttal against it, but to be honest, I didn't have anything to say because it's pretty apt. like he's gonna have a moment in the game.
Bro. That's not an insult. Theo Walcott got 100 Premier League goals.
It's absolutely not an insult, but at the same time, it's like accepting what certain players' levels are in it. Like Rashford is always on 300 plus a week. Like so, effectively, he's Man United's franchise player. It's not an insult. It's not an insult.
No, it's an insult if you're on 300k. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I mean it's an insult to the fans for sure. So, to acknowledge that that's our franchise player. Like like imagine Arsenal playing 350 bags for Theo Walcott, bruv. They'll be uproar. Like it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to put.
I don't know. Like, it feels a little bit like harsh that Rashford is being called out first.
I was just gonna get to that and say I don't want it to make it all about Rashford for sure. The fact of the matter is we just wasn't good enough in the game, man. We weren't going to get anything out of that game. Like they've got superior players than us. It would appear. And yeah, I just know the setup. Like I just don't get it. Like Ten's got an approach to the game where he wants to play games on the press. Like he wants to be on the front foot. But when you watch Man United play, it looks like we haven't set any triggers for the press. So it's just like everyone's doing their press like by themselves kind of thing. If you watch Bruno across 90 minutes, like Bruno is a lot of the time is pressing by himself. And I've mentioned it previously why like he's in a position where if he presses, like it's leaving so much space in midfield. Like and Man City today were just having absolute joy like across the park. Like and I look at things like that, like where it looks like we've been told that we have to play a certain way, but we haven't been trained to play in a way. It's odd, man. It's very odd.
Is it fair to say for everyone, the Man United are old when they used to play that counter-attacking game? They were a lot more clinical, man. Because
I would say so, yeah. I would say so.
I can't lie. I was watching today, going, I can't believe the space that some of these players are in against Man City and how wasteful we were. Like overall.
Yeah. To be fair, we actually defended well in the game. That's one thing I would say. Onana had a pretty decent game as well. That's probably the best I've seen him play. And yeah, defensively we looked more composed than I've seen in other games. But it's just inevitable. Like when like we're literally on the back foot throughout the game. Like that eventually Man City's going to break you down. Like you need to be offering more than just defending well against Man City or defending the 1-0 lead. I just don't know, man. It's odd, man. Yeah. It's odd, but not surprising at all.
So can I ask a quick question to you United fans? When Ollie was at the wheel, how were you guys against the smaller opposition? Because I know against in the big games, you guys showed up, but against the small opposition, how did you guys fare?
Under Ollie, I think it was a little bit more controlled. So we definitely had a little bit more possession than we did against the big teams. It was. I would probably say most of the time it was somewhat counter attacking as well. To be fair, I think that's naturally just we've just got the players for that. But I think under Ole, if I can remember correctly, we had a little bit more control than we do at the minute, and that's crazy to say because at the time when he was in the job, like everyone was like throwing daggers at him. But in hindsight, bruv, Ole's better than Ten Hag. Let's have it right, mate.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question because against the big games, it seems like Ten Hag doesn't really know how to set up or what to do. But at least with Ole, you know, if Man City were playing United, then there may be Man City they will be worried because of the whole counter attack and the approach. The same way with Liverpool, whereas with Ten Hag, it's you just don't know what you guys are trying to do. And
but Ten Hag doesn't know how to set up against the little teams either.
No, that's why I started off with asking how are United against the smaller teams because I wanted to see how Ten Hag compares to Ole. At least with Ole, there was some sort of identity in the sense of like you knew what United are capable of doing. Whereas with this team on the 10, you just don't know anything. And when I was watching them play, trying to play at the back, it was just horrific, horrific. Just watching it, you're like, what do you guys do in training?
Yeah, I think the thing is, we all know Man United can play out from the back, but not when they're getting pressured. When Man City goes so high up the pitch, they just can't hack that because they're constantly under pressure. And if you saw, like, for the majority of that game, when Man City were pushing on, the only advice that we had was to go back to Onana. So it was like, guys, like, we need to, like, pass the ball.
Who would you say your ball playing defenders are there? Now, you see if you're playing out from the back, because I see those times when
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I was about to say Phil Jones, you know. Johnny Evans, yeah, where he picked up the ball and he looked a bit uncomfortable before he came off injured. It's probably worth noting when he came off injured, it did look like that's when the floodgates were going to open, oddly enough. But who would you say you would play through? Because even for the last goal that you man conceded, wasn't it Casemiro that looked like the balls of... Was it Casemiro?
Amrabat.
No, but before it got to Amrabat, I think Onana gave it to
Varane. But I think someone mentioned, I think it might have been you, Sam, that said the ball was a bit of it was a hospital ball from Varane.
Oh yeah, the pass, yeah.
It wasn't terrible though.
No, it wasn't terrible, but knowing that you're getting pressed by City to play that ball, like play on the floor. And you know your teammates, you know where you like in the context of the game. That's why I said it was suicidal. Like in a normal game, yeah, but in the context of the game where you know these people are pressing you, there needs to be A1. Yeah, and that pass, you know.
The one thing.
To answer your question, Strives, Johnny Evans is a ball playing CB, and I think when he has played for United, he's probably been the best distributor of the ball for United in the good games. Anyway,
it's Martinez first.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's Sandro first. He's probably the one player where you see he came in the team straight away, and you could see that he already had the attributes needed to play out from the back. He's got a good crossfield pass, like the rangy pass, crossfield ball, and he's also good at punching the ball and breaking lines as well. So he's probably the player. But in terms of the back line, I'd say. The players that can adequately play out from the back without it looking too crazy. I think Delo has the right attributes to do it. Lisandro Martinez, Johnny Evans looks good as well, but he's slow. And then obviously I'd probably say Shaw as well. But then outside of that, everyone else, what's
Varane like?
Varane.
Yeah,
he looks okay, but I don't know when Varane's playing out from the back. I just don't know. He just doesn't look. He just looks dodgy for me.
He looks nervy.
He doesn't always look comfortable, does he?
It doesn't look comfortable, but I wouldn't because he's come from Real Madrid, so I wouldn't dare say he's unable to do it. It just when I see him doing it as well, he's another player that I get a bit nervous about seeing. I think it's because of his legs. He's got them bow legs, isn't it? He's got the legs of someone that used to be fat. So whenever he's running the ball, I just get nervous.
Yeah. So obviously we.
Varane, you know, I'm just like, I'm sure I knew it was Casemiro. It was Casemiro.
That did what?
That ball before Haaland scored.
In the air.
Yeah.
No, it's Varane.
I'm sure it was Varane.
I'm sure. Yeah, sure it's Varane.
Well, the third goal.
Yeah, the third goal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around, but yeah, maybe if you're watching it now.
Yeah, but obviously, United went ahead, and then obviously Haaland missed that chance. It was like an open goal, which was a bit crazy. And then in the second half, obviously, again another special strike, but from Foden. But then
before Foden got going, though, man, well, there was some cases, man. There was some cases headed
Yeah.
this way.
There wasn't a single thing.
There wasn't
a single thing going on, bro. It was just between you yourself.
Picking up what you were saying from last week.
Listen, don't come at me. I'm not the one. I'm not in charge of the prosecution.
You're definitely the one with the cases.
You were the sole.
You said it in the group.
Sole convictor, bro. Not one person even breathed about it, bro. Just you.
Oh, but he had a good couple chances to put City ahead, and if City lost some points there, he would have been the first head on the chopping board.
That one-on-one. Another played good, man.
KDB with a brilliant ball, ball to him. Anana did well, but
he did all right.
Done better. There was a couple little chances there, and obviously Haaland's one was crazy, but I just thought it was worth noting that Foden nearly got some charges through the mailbox, and he realised he had to do something, and he did. Credit to him, man. He's doing it now with Haaland and KDB on the pitch now. So, all them other charges where people were saying that he's like the background boy, so to speak. Like he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Has anyone actually said that though? Like, because him and obviously goals don't really mean the most, but him and Saka, I think he's got more goals than Saka this year as well.
No, so but why are we talking about Saka?
No, because obviously that's what we're talking about. In like,
we're talking about City. I don't know why Saka living in your mind?
Because obviously the real offense, you were talking about it last week, innit? So like, I don't know if the conversations from last week carry over, but if they do, we're talking about
there has been conversations about like Foden. You know what I mean? Like, as in a lot of people respect Foden and obviously appreciate the talent and the technical prowess that Foden possessed, but sometimes people are wondering whether he's got it within him is he going to be that clutch player to pull City out of the ruins? Yeah, like, let's say when your KDB's not showing up, when your Haaland's not showing up. And those were the charges that have been, placed by his name every now and again. It's not by myself.
So when has Man City not showed up without those guys? Because remember, those guys were out for a chunk of last season and they won, 3 trophies. This season, they've been out for quite some time. And Man City are 1 point off the top.
Haaland went out last season.
This season, KDB's been out for some time.
Yeah,
and Haaland's been out for some time. Last season, KDB was out for some time.
Yeah, so this season, this is when Foden's answering. Foden. This season, Foden's coming. He's coming of age or what have you not. But
let's cut the crap. Nobody's ever asked any questions about Foden. They've only asked questions in relation to Saka doing well.
No, he's right. Because when
people
again. Yeah, because remember last season, I was like, or beginning of the top of the season, I was like, look, Foden needs to be in the team no matter what. And people were saying, how can he get in the team?
Him, though. Nobody asked questions about him.
But they said he did do the question.
So even at this table, he was doubted because Marley Marsh.
No.
Nobody ever doubted Foden.
No one that he wasn't in the team, and Miles was saying he should, and I said instead of who, he said Jack, and I was like, but Jack is playing and he's playing well. So how do you take someone out that's playing well?
My point.
Foden's better.
My point was like someone like Foden, like you have to when you're picking your team, he's one of the first names in your sheet. Like so, then you build your team around him. Like that was the point I was making, and obviously, like I think your rebuttal was like, all right, so who does he get in ahead of? And I'm like, look. Like if someone has to go, bruv, like it has to be Grealish, bruv. Like it has to be Grealish because Grealish isn't of the same quality. It might. But
Grealish was playing well at the time. So how do you just take Grealish and say, Foden, you're there now? Bear in mind, Foden just came out from injury. That's why he wasn't ahead of Grealish. So Grealish was already ahead of him and is playing well in a winning team. So how do you take someone out in a winning team that's doing well? Bruv, as a manager, how do you justify that?
Listen, as a manager, your pursuit should be for perfection, bruv. Like, and if you can improve on your team, bruv, like you improve it, bruv. Like, irrespective
but guess what? How do you improve? How do you then improve on a team that won a treble? So Pep was doing something right, and Grealish was doing something right. So it wasn't as if Man City were playing and they weren't winning games. That midfield were winning games.
So would you agree then that some people, like, it might have been fair to say that some people might have regarded Foden as an accessory to an already winning component then.
But nobody was questioning him. The point was nobody was questioning him. Where I think MJ might have said that you got to build a team around him, but nobody was questioning Foden's ability or questioning him as a player.
So
That's
recently, in the recent headlines where he's been, where the question has been, is he world class? What's your position?
No, nobody's asked that question. Nobody's asked that question either. So tell the truth, bro. Stop trying to be biased.
What's going on? Why are you trying to avoid the questions? These are the questions that's out there.
You're not being transparent, bro. The topic is about Foden versus Saka. That's what it's about.
Bro, like, with all due respect,
they said that Saka isn't. They said Saka isn't.
With all due respect to Phil Foden, that's not a comparison. That's what we don't do, those kind of comparables. There's different.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why? What are you getting at? What are you getting at, B?
There's categories.
It's very nonsensical.
So as in Saka's in a much higher category than Foden. Is that what we're doing?
Not much higher, but
isn't higher.
There's categories.
Is that right?
Well, anyway, second half. Anyway, Foden proved everyone wrong and banged in a special strike. But they were in the build up to that goal. Rashford went down. Are we saying he went down too easy, or are we going to go back to the same thing that we've said before? Is that players need to play the game, and playing the game is going down easy when they're trying to attack. Like
man, the game's soft now, man. Like gone are the days when he was through. Stay on your feet as much as possible.
Yeah, cool.
You know, like just a simple touch is that I'm going to go down.
Yeah,
just play like football. And I know sometimes the referees don't help by falling for it, but I think refs need to be a lot stronger. Don't fall for them sort of things, and players won't go down as easy as they normally are nowadays. So Rashford, you're through on goal.
It was wild. But at the time, he probably just thought, "Oh, if he touches me, I'm going down." This was my whole point. Like, other games, I don't know. I don't know. Like, but obviously they checked VAR, must have looked at it, and obviously they gave nothing. So it was soft. I thought it was soft anyway. But I just think the mentality of him like going down, he probably just thought, "I just want to get my team probably up the pitch." I don't know.
It was a cop out. That's why I say I think he like I don't particularly think he played great. It was a cop out, man. Like Walker,
he didn't play great at all.
Like in the first half, he had a chance where he had a chance where the ball was ahead of him, and he obviously tried to head the ball, and he headed it into the ground, and it slowed the momentum down, and then Walker caught up with him. So he had that in his head, and in that second chance, he was a foot race against Walker, so he knew Walker was going to catch him. So he took the somewhat cowardly way out in trying to win a foul. But what he didn't do is he didn't shield the ball well enough.
Sure.
Like, and if you're not shielding the ball well enough and the player's getting it, you can't still try and say, all right, it's a foul. It's not a foul, bruv. You didn't do your job properly. Like, man, it was poor. It was a poor.
He had a bit of a moment where he looked like he was lacking composure. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I can't even say nerves, but maybe the adrenaline it was some sort of adrenaline rush. Because there was a time when he looked like he miskicked the ball as well. Like when he was trying to kick the ball across goal, in the first half as well. But I think where he scored such a superb goal and he obviously gave you guys the lead and whatnot, I don't know. I think like Rashford having his Trashford moment, so to speak, that's something that's been synonymous of these seasons. But I just think today, I mean, what are you gonna expect from Marcus Rashford today, considering the way your gaffer set up? You know what I mean? Because you guys kind of set up like you were there to survive. Like you set up like you were Sheffield United. Like all due respect to Sheffield United, we're playing them tomorrow, and it could definitely shock us. But you set up like a team of that ilk rather than like to be honest,
I think like Marley Mar said though, like the setup wasn't actually that bad, but I think when you know that you get these chances in these big games, if you're not taking them, you know Man City are going to come back and pamper you with at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals. So
yeah, but answer me this, because you're saying the setup wasn't that bad, but my question to you is not whether it was bad or not. You might think it was effective. Obviously, well, that's debatable because you lost 3-1. But you guys have got a setup whereby you've conceded a lot of the possession. You're trying to play on transition. You actually had about 26% possession, bro. Man City had more shots than you had possession. You know that? So I'm just trying to say that in a game like that, what are you expecting Rashford to do? Like, because the game's not set up for his tools. Like, you know what I mean? Like his tools are used in a game like this.
Yeah, but I think
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. Now the reason I say that's fair The reason I say that's fair is because if you look at all right, as a forward, like, and I've always said this as well. So let me give Rashford the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think if you're forward, yeah, if you score across 90 minutes and the rest of your game is meaty, I think that's an okay performance because you've done your job as an attacker. And if we could not, but we could not, because when we compare. Like, say for instance, we're comparing Haaland, yeah. Haaland doesn't do much over 90 minutes, but he might get a goal or two. Like, what's the difference between not doing anything and scoring a goal with Haaland and Rashford
Don't it
scoring a
depend on the
goal?
job
And
that's been assigned to you though? Because like,
Yeah, that's what
let's
I think
have
that's
it.
what he said.
Like, no, because he said, "What's the difference?" Haaland, we know that Haaland, if we're going to be honest, Haaland's job isn't to get really involved in the build-up; it's to execute the final project. I don't believe especially when Marcus Rashford's starting position is out wide. I don't believe his job is to.
no, he played up top. He played up top today.
No, but I'm saying his starting position was out wide. Like, for example, in a lot of the times when he was in the foot races with Kyle Walker. I don't believe that his job is to. All right, if you go on the pitch and you get a goal, then I'm happy with you. Today was going to be a grind. We're all going to need, for example, we've been in those games before. When you come on the pitch, you're not going to get a lot, but when you do get the ball, just make sure that something positive comes out of it, or you hold onto the ball, or you can hold the ball until other guys can be played in. I think for him to be walking away happy with the fact that he got a goal in a difficult game, I personally would feel disappointed in him because I think he should have done better. Because if you take the goal out of the game, he's horrible, bro. If I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
If Jota did that, Darwin Núñez did that, or even Jadon Danns did that, I'm not looking at those guys like they're anything worth writing home about.
Darwin Núñez is an exception, I think. I think because I think Darwin Núñez has been
he's a pest. He's a pest, fair enough. But like I'm saying, let's say, for example, Jadon Danns had his debut for Liverpool the other day. If he played like that, I'll think, all right, maybe there's some promise there, but I wouldn't be.
But when you say like that, though, Joey, what do you mean? Like, what did he do that was like, okay, yeah, he like, I don't want to sound like too much of an advocate because I know the obvious things were like, obviously he was a bit soft, going down a bit too easily, whatnot. But what would you say? There was a lack of fight, a lack of desire.
Yeah. And sorry, what you was talking about regarding him going down easy. Like MJ said it, he called him a coward for that, bro. And I think this is a derby game. If you're not getting that, let's say you go down easily and you don't get that free kick for that. All right, cool. Now you should be looking at yourself and like, right, the ref ain't going to be having none of this now. It's not a soft game. Let me play hard. Let me try and go for it. At least like kind of like keep everything else I'm doing on the same level of the goal I've scored. You should be inspired by that goal you scored. You scored a worldie, bro.
Yeah.
But it just seems like MJ said, like he's done his job and he can be happy with it and he can go home and sleep peacefully. That's why I was a bit disappointed.
Because like people like he says like people like Rooney are his idols at the club. Like, can you imagine Rooney? Like, Rooney would not like be like going down that like, and I don't know. Maybe that's. And that's why
the game's different now, and you got to remember he's captain is Bruno Fernandes.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe that's why people think Bruno Fernandes is not the right profile as a Man United captain, because the way he behaves on the pitch is not historically how Man United captains behave. Like, I say historically, I say obviously when we were winning, the Roy Keanes and you know what I mean. Like that's probably not something you would see. But maybe that's just that's who we are now, man. Maybe that's just who we are, bruv.
Yeah. That's fair. And in terms of, obviously, Foden scored another one. I think it was a good give and go, wasn't it? It was a great bit of play. And then obviously Haaland got on the score sheet in the end. But I think, if I remember correctly, I think the last 3 or 4 games we've played Man City, I think it's always been Foden and Haaland that have scored against us, which is a bit crazy as well.
On that goal, so yeah, Dan was correct. It was Casemiro that done that pass, not Varane. Let's watch the highlight.
Okay, fair enough.
I was a bit disappointed. I was disappointed that Onana couldn't get like a stronger hand to the Foden shot, because
the first goal.
No, the second one, right?
The second one.
Yeah. He went down
not the
and
first one. That was a screamer. But and sorry, just for how Man United played, I wasn't too mad at how Man United played, man. I think it was very realistic approach to the game because they knew there wasn't much they can do. I was just disappointed in like the maybe like the third or the penultimate pass
Yeah,
just before when they're in a danger zone, because it just lacked, like, for example,
bro.
McTominay will get on the ball and he'll drive into a position where it's like, bro, you've not done no ABCD, you don't know what's going to happen after your next pass or whatever, and then you'll just get beaten up by Carl Walker, or he'll be like, he was active on the pitch. But again, for me personally, this is the manager's fault, because these guys don't know what they're doing when they get the ball. And it's like, okay, if Bruno gets the ball, then maybe some magic's going to happen. Or if Rashford gets the ball, maybe some magic's going to happen. But these guys they're not thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 passes ahead.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you look at Arsenal, you look at Man United, and you look at the guys who you're trying to beat, these guys are thinking 4 or 5 passes ahead. So you haven't got a chance, man. But if they could think ahead and play the tactics that it looked like Ten Hag was going to play, then we would have had a game, man, because Man City was so open at the back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was, extremely open. Extremely open.
Like I said, final third, Man United was stinking up the place, man. Like proper. Like it's almost like you said, I don't think they knew what they wanted to do. It's like, do you attack? Do you go back? Do you wait for players to come and join you? I don't think that they knew what they were supposed to do when they were even when they advanced into those final third stages. It's almost like they were like, oh my God, I can't believe we've got so far up the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was weird, man. It was a weird kind of game in terms of that approach. But overall, I think you're right, Joey. I think we knew we couldn't do anything in terms of playing with them. So I think ETH was like, we'll just try and get as many people back. If we grab a goal, great. If we don't, at least it's not going to be like an embarrassing result. If that makes sense. Any other things from the game, Molly Moore, to pick up or?
No, I mean there wasn't too many positives to take from the game, to be fair. Maino played well again. In fact, there was a couple of positives. Maino, he looks good again. So that's you get a bit nervous when it comes to Man United and having solid prospects in the team, because you think, all right, they've had a couple of games, but can they be consistent? Maino looks like if he can stay fit, he looks like he'll be a real problem. So that's a good thing. And Onana as well. I got to give him credit. Like after a performance like today, like I was like, oh right, maybe there is a little bit of hope for him in the team, because yeah, man, he pulled off a number of saves. I think the Foden's second goal, I did question whether or not he could have got to it a little bit earlier as well. Maybe got down or a stronger hand, but it was a good finish, man. So I'm not even gonna hold an honor to that. So yeah, man, it's positive. His distribution was pretty decent as well today. Maybe that's just because Man City was playing such a high line, it was easy to get in behind them. But yeah,
Bruno was getting in behind as well, bro. With
a lot in it, a lot.
Carl Walker and
You know what? You know what I was thinking about Onana, yeah, is how he's been getting such a bad rap. Obviously, we're like United seem to be happy to concede so much possession, and obviously you're absorbing a lot of like shots and stuff like that. He's probably like being worked a lot more than
he is
than expected. Like like how before we grabbed Ramsdale, he was probably just obviously getting peppered because he was playing for like relegation teams or whatnot, like. Because you guys are like, and this isn't even a shot, but because you guys are like literally playing in that kind of that vein of form, he's probably got a bad rap unfairly. Like maybe Carl's thinking about it. Like if he was like had like
Inter Milan. Like Inter Milan, he wasn't getting peppered or he wasn't doing the madness.
Like he wasn't, but to your point, Strives, there's times where you watch him and some of the mistakes he makes, it's not something to do with the fact that you're getting peppered. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they are very self-inflicted.
But to that point, I hear what you're saying, Dan, because it's like, I mean, if you're a player, a keeper that's getting stung with 100 shots, you might have there's going to be a few flops in there.
There's going to be more kindness than someone that's not exactly.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking, really.
Yeah.
So Joe, before you move on, I haven't listened to this interview, but I'm just literally reading. I mean, what the title of the interview is called. It said, this is from Ten Hag. It said, we're not far behind City. He said Ten Hag denies that there's a huge gulf in class between Man United and Man City. Just reading some of the comments, and someone said, United had 20% possession and 1 shot on target, yet he thinks they had a chance but let it slip. He's a shameless man.
Why does he say the same thing after every game?
Yeah,
What's
it's getting a
wrong
bit
with the gaffer?
tiring.
He's fighting for his job, boys. He's literally fighting for his job. Just like at present, we are 11 points off Aston Villa, who are in fourth place, I believe. And there's 11 games left to play. Like, he's gone in the summer. Like, there's no mincing it. He's gone in the summer. Like, we've got nothing. FA Cup. He could end up doing happenings the same thing
Van
happened
Gaal.
Van
to
Gaal.
Louis. Yeah, Van Gaal. You win the FA Cup and then he gets fired, bro, at this point.
Except for
Because we're not
You're only
winning the
6
FA
points
Cup,
behind
though.
Spurs, though, right? And they're fifth.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah,
You-
but
is it-
they're chasing fourth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
chasing.
but then I'm just thinking, like, if you can at least get fifth and hope for the best with like Arsenal, City in the Champions League, or even Liverpool in Europa, you know what I mean? So
I can't even see that. Spurs are 6 points ahead of us with a game in hand. So if they win their game in hand, that's going to be 9 points with 11 games to go. Like,
and they got a decent run, but I think they got Villa in their run somewhere as well. Spurs.
Yeah, we've got but definitely a worse run, surely, bro. I know we got to face you. I think we have to play Liverpool again as well.
Yeah, but you play our second to last game of the season, so that's not bad.
And you play us at Old Trafford as well.
Yeah, that does.
Man United got Everton next, Marley Mar. So DH needs to, and then he doesn't get sacked before the end of the season.
Yeah, we got a pretty I say tough run. So we got Brentford away, after Everton, and then we've got Chelsea away, and then we play Liverpool. Yeah, man, it's sticky, man. It's sticky for 10 at the minute still. Yeah.
So Man City, obviously they play Copenhagen next, Champions League, and then after that, their attention turns to Liverpool, which will be a cracking game. So great segue onto our next match, which is Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. Substitute Nunes scores 99th minute winner to move the Reds 4 points clear. And Joey, what were you thinking before obviously Nunes scored? Because I know you guys played FA Cup as well. It was Southampton, right? That you did. And I watched that game and I thought there were chances that obviously Southampton squandered, but you went on to win that game anyway. So I feel like you're on this high where it doesn't matter how many injuries, it doesn't matter how many things happen. Liverpool just seem to be just grinding out those results.
But let's not. They were fortunate, man. Let's not.
No, exactly. They were fortunate, but bro,
Whoa. Fortunate about what?
The stars and the planets.
Your goal was fortunate. Like let's not lie about that.
So when you talk about fortune, you have to talk about the misfortune of the chances that weren't scored. Because
that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
What's going on here?
It's irrelevant because you had chances and you missed it. Nottingham Forest had chances and they missed it. If the referee didn't make that blunder at the end of the game, you wouldn't have had that final chance to score the goal. Okay. It's as simple as that. That's what I meant about fortune.
So what does fortune mean? Fortune means lucky.
You were fortunate to have won that game.
If fortune means lucky or luck, if a defender makes a great clearance off the line that usually 9 times out of 10 they wouldn't make, is that fortunate or misfortunate? Or if a defender makes a mistake,
no. What?
Hey,
I'm saying, get your question.
No. Let me say.
It's fortunate, bruv. It's fortunate. It's definitely fortunate because listen, if the rules of the game of any other game across the land,
bro, you're answering the question.
Okay, what's the question?
My question is, you're saying that this is fortunate. I'm saying that
win was fortunate.
Let me finish. There's bare different types of fortune and misfortune that happens in the game. If you watch 90 minutes, there's bare things that you can say. You can say that Diaz was unlucky or Diaz was lucky.
Simple question. Were you fortunate to win that game? Yes or no?
Bro, let me finish. I'm saying there's loads of things in that game. You're saying that this thing is fortunate. Yeah, it's fortunate. But I'm saying like this is football, bro. Look, when Tottenham happened to us, nobody was saying this is misfortune.
I never disputed that. I never disputed that. I simply said you were fortunate to get that victory, and you're saying that is the case.
No, I don't think we were fortunate to get that victory. I think we got what was coming to us. The same way.
So, Jerry, if the referee didn't make that blunder, would you get that last chance?
Maybe.
No, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't.
Maybe because we're playing Nottingham Forest, and the likelihood is that we're going to beat Nottingham Forest.
No. You should
I
have
host.
beaten
This guy's
Forest,
derailing my
yeah?
section, bro.
But
What's going on here, bro?
no, I'm not. You asked the question.
No, go on,
That's why I left this open.
You should have beaten.
Go,
You
go.
should have beaten Nottingham Forest,
In
but
my
you've now gone
opinion,
into the 98th minute and you hadn't beaten them. So it wasn't guaranteed that you would have won that game. If
no,
the
but
referee
nothing's
didn't
guaranteed
make
in
that
football. That's a
blunder,
fact.
no, exactly. But okay, if the referee didn't make that blunder. And I think this is pointless anyway because you've already admitted that it was fortunate that you won the game.
You're saying if the referee didn't make that blunder, that we wouldn't have another chance.
I don't think Liverpool go on. I don't think.
No. That's not the point. If the referee doesn't make that blunder, do we have another chance in that game? It's possible. It is possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know those are
so that's what I'm saying.
2 minutes left, if that.
There was two. But you're saying we can't have another chance in 2 minutes.
And the ball goes back to Nottingham Forest. But guess what? You had 98 minutes. You had 98 minutes and you didn't score a goal.
Wait, sorry. What's going on here? Sorry.
Because obviously, I accept what you're saying that you might have had a chance, but the likelihood is that because I think Hudson Odoi had the ball at the time before Konate did his BAFTA winning performance.
No, there was a clash in the air. You can't say BAFTA winning performance.
Oh yeah, there could be a clash, but
and you have to stop it. The ref done the right thing up until that point.
Fair enough.
For sure.
You know what? Maybe I'm being harsh there, but I just didn't know how his head got hit like that. But whatever. But if you're giving the ball back to like following the rules of the game, it would have gone back to the drop ball would have been with Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest would have had the ball back in that same similar area, and maybe I think they would have maybe gone back.
No, but they would have probably crossed the ball, maybe got another corner, kept the ball in the corner.
This is what I'm saying, though. There's hella maybes. You're all surmising.
Of course, but of course.
Wait, let me just say, all we needed was one chance. We got one chance and we scored.
Yeah, and you had
in the 2 minutes left over,
you never
in the 2 minutes that Strives just said we had 2 minutes left over, is there a chance of us having another chance?
And Nottingham Forest should do better in that 2 minutes. However, if the state of play goes back to where it should have, though, Joey, I don't know that you get that opportunity to get a corner on your end. In fact, it may have been a corner.
But it doesn't mean we have to score from a corner, though. My point is that I believe that we are capable of having another chance. You're saying we're fortunate because the referee has pushed it that way. I don't disagree with that. But don't try and say we won that game because we were fortunate. That's not factually.
Okay. What time of the game? What time of the game did that turnover happen? Where Liverpool got the ball back? Wasn't it like the 96th minute or something like that?
Yeah,
that's what Strive said.
Yeah, like 96 or something like that. Honestly,
and we know that create a chance. We know that Liverpool can create a chance in 2 minutes.
But no one's disputing
not being realistic.
No, Joey. No one disputing. And this is the thing. I get with fans. If this happened against Liverpool, you would have been up in arms. Yeah. And it's okay.
I'm not disputing that because you haven't even let me go into my section. Let me go into my section and then you can get where I'm coming from because you're saying stuff that I'm going to say.
I've started. So let me just finish this and then you can have your thing. So the thing that you're saying as a fan is that first admit you know what? Okay, as a fan of your team,
I'm not speaking as a fan of my team, bro.
Okay,
because I think Man City would have got I think Man City and I think Arsenal are able to create a chance in 2 minutes, bro. So I'm not even speaking as a fan of my team. You're saying that we got that goal because of the mistake from the referee. I'm saying in the 2 minutes, we are capable of creating a chance to win the game. That's all I'm saying.
But guess what? If the referee didn't make that mistake, you don't have 2 minutes.
I think the Poseidon point is that you were lucky. I think the Poseidon point was you guys were lucky to win the game, and I mean, you kind of were.
And we can admit that you got the 3 points. That's not going to change. We can admit that. You know what?
More appropriately to say was you were lucky to have that last chance because you shouldn't have had the ball.
Or they were lucky to have the referee on their side.
Jay's pushing it. Jay's pushing it.
100%. Yeah, okay. Thank you all for your input. Respectfully, I disagree. I think we were peppering Nottingham Forest all game. But I think Nottingham Forest were good in the sense of the tactics they were using is what I expected from kind of like a bit more from Man United. When the guys up front had the ball, they made it difficult. Obviously, Konate and Virgil, you know what they're going to do on the ball, but like Morgan Gibbs-White, when you got on the ball, he held the ball enough time for the wingers and guys to come forward. So yeah, Nottingham respect to them. And again, as Della said, he said I'm speaking as a fan. No, because I've been very clear in the group chats when I'm talking to everybody. I'm saying Nottingham Forest are rightfully aggrieved. They have a right to be aggrieved. If that happened to me, like it has happened to Liverpool in the past, I will be fuming. I'll be fuming. Like the referee's had a mare. He's had an absolute mare. That being said, I don't believe that that Nottingham Forest would have been able to keep the ball for 2 minutes and prevented us from having another chance on goal.
Well, guess what? They got it for 98 minutes. Who
what are you talking about? Nottingham Forest did not stuff. We had loads of chances on game. What are you talking about?
Did you score a goal in 98 minutes, Julius?
What did I say? Does this guy speak English? Do you understand English?
What did you say?
I said we would have. They're not able to prevent us from having another chance. That's what I said.
No, you didn't say another chance. They would have stopped us scoring another goal.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's not get to the.
Well, I definitely said chance.
Short with it.
Let me finish my section, bro. Let me finish my section, please.
They couldn't stop you. Okay. I don't need to come in again. Sometimes you just waffle.
Did I say chance?
Before you get onto your section,
Wait, hang on, sorry. Did I say chance?
Am I even a chance?
I said.
From the beginning, I simply said you were fortunate to have won that game. You went around the circle, so you know what? Yeah, we were. Just admit the truth.
Anyway, my point is, I've said for the third time now. I don't believe that I think we would have got another chance in the time. And I think in the game, we should have had loads of chances in the game where we could have scored and we should have scored, in my opinion. So
you see,
I don't really...
You see the last chance that counted there, that obviously you scored from, that chance came in the 99th minute. That was beyond the 8 minutes that you were prescribed.
But there was a reason why, because they stopped the time for Konate.
Yeah, that way it was, you think so, yeah?
Yeah. So they stopped the time twice, innit? There was 2 injuries where the keeper got an injury. That's why we got an 8 minutes injury time. And then in that 8 minutes, Konate got a head injury where the referee had to stop the time and he had to get treatment as well. So, or not necessarily treatment.
He
but
didn't get treatment, got back up.
Like I said, again, I just corrected myself, where the referee had to stop the time. So it's either the referee plays the game.
Got a little bit longer. Because we saw an example where
the player said to the referee, stop it, and then he blew it during the game. We saw that, innit? So it's either we're going to see that in this game and everyone's going to make noise, or we see it in Real Madrid game, innit? But so again, I personally, I don't really care whether we're fortunate or not. My point is, Nottingham Forest have a right to be aggrieved. I'll be aggrieved if the same thing happened to me. Whenever Arsenal, something has happened to Arsenal, they've been aggrieved. Same for Man City.
What we're saying though, we thinking that the ref needs to not get punished, but because I think they get relegated as well when they do bad decisions. Or
I don't know.
So,
it's not that bad, is it? I mean, it's bad, but it's
but if you're like the Forest and then you get relegated,
drop ball. Not knowing the rules for drop ball is really bad.
No, but I think it was also naive from Nottingham Forest. You shouldn't like. I get them being aggrieved, and I wholeheartedly believe that they have a right to that. The words evaded me here, but what I do think is they were proper naive and to turn over possession at that moment of the game, and
on the edge of their box.
You've done the job. Like, you've done the job. How have you allowed that to happen? How have you given away the corner? It was. I don't know. I feel like in that 2 minutes or so it was played, there's more than enough time for Nottingham Forest to be a bit more like professional about seeing that game out and done all the hard work. So I think, as well as being aggrieved, I think there has to be some level of accountability where they go back and watch the tapes and they're like, that was naive of us. Like
if the referee doesn't know the rules and then he's given the ball the wrong way, or he's not playing to the rules of the game.
Is that an actual rule though?
That's another problem. How many times you give it back? If I had the ball, you give it back to the attacker.
Drop ball and then normally kick it back.
Hang on. I know there's a drop ball, but I don't know if it's in black and white that the referee has to give because it's the referee's discretion. Instead of referee's
if the attacker has the ball,
my question is: it in black and white that you have to give the ball to the person?
Yeah,
you've seen it in black and white.
Yeah.
None of you have seen it in black and white. That's a load of bollocks, bro.
It's a drop ball.
You don't actually listen. You just answer and talk.
No.
Let's just say Mark Clattenburg's listening to us. Come on, the pod and just clarify.
No. So basically, I've listened to a few outlets, and they said the rules, and they actually quote the number of this is the rule. So I haven't seen it in black and white. I didn't know we have to be, that.
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
But I've heard the rules.
Yeah, because I've seen a few conversations where that's been questioned what the actual rules are. So I've not seen anyone quote wherever it is. But sorry, just to your point, I think they can be aggrieved. Obviously, in everything that happens, you have to take accountability, whether it's your fault or not. But in this situation, like, I think when you've been robbed or you have that feeling of being robbed, your head is rattled, bro, man. So it's very hard to get back into that frame of mind where you need to get back onto a professional job when you've been derailed by such just a neglect of duty from the referee, in my opinion. So obviously there's accountability to take there, but I think it's definitely harsh, man, and they definitely have a right to feel aggrieved.
Well, what are we saying? We need to give a bit of a round of applause for Nunes.
Nunes,
you
know what it is with Nunes?
Certain people do. Not everyone, innit? Not everyone needs to give it because certain people have already been giving his applause. Let me.
Nunes is doing his thing, but I think what's making it more potent this time is he's actually like popping up at real clutch moments, and he's winning Liverpool like some really valuable points here, like really valuable points, man. So, and I personally, I think the round of applause should go to McAllister, because that's twice I saw him put in similar balls like that. It looked like it's not like it was like a hit and hoper as well. It looked like it was a real precise ball into Nunes, and it was a really good header. It was a really good finish. Yeah, obviously, you did feel bad for Forest. I do, as much as I'm blaming Forest as well. There could be an argument to say if you're expecting the ball to come back to you as per the rules, you might rightfully switch off because you're expecting possession to go to you rather than to their goalkeeper.
And you don't know how they grind down the time as well, Stripes. That's the thing. You don't know how they're gonna what's gonna happen with that ball. You don't know what their state of mind is, how they play that.
Yeah, exactly. So they might have a case to say this is why we switched off, but ultimately what happened, and I think McAllister's ball was dope. Nunes' finish was dope. And that's been the story of this guy's season, though. Like this guy, like we said, he's got a strange affinity with hitting the post or the crossbar, and then the hardest chances are the ones that he's converted. Man, he's a weird guy, man.
Shout out to McAllister, bro, man. He had a stormer of a game, man. He was just getting stuck in, picking up the ball from deep, traveling it, just putting it out wide, turning over possession loads of time. For me, the game proper changed around when Endo came on as well. So
I was gonna say that he actually broke up play in that last goal. Like he was the one that actually won the ball with a bit of scrappy defending. Big up him, man.
Yeah, and then he just freed up McAllister to not have to worry about that as well, man. And again, shout out Jayden Danns as well, came on and just gave them something else to think about, man. And obviously, Dre, you mentioned the Southampton game. I think right now it's just again, I quote Bods from last week. He was saying that anyone who puts on the shirt is kind of like they just get possessed by the spirit of the club and what's happening there, man. So it's just good to see them win that FA Cup game, man, because if they lost that game, it would just give these kids like some questions to think about. Right now, they don't really have to think. They just can go out there and play, man. And that's kind of what you need when you see Man City dispatching teams.
It was quite dope of McAllister to play in the midfield with who was it with? It was with Clark and Gomez.
Oh yeah, when they started,
have to manage that midfield, and then obviously I know we're giving credit to Endo, but like for McAllister to kind of survive with that makeshift midfield, I think McAllister was probably one of your standout players.
Yeah, not from that though, because I actually, even though like in terms of how we were transitioning from defense to attack, it was very slow with Joe Gomez playing DM. You can see that he's not a DM, and even like when he played against Southampton, man, like when he doesn't have the ball, there's no scans, there's no like anything to kind of like say, yeah, I want this ball from you. So like there'll be loads of times where Conor Bradley had the ball and Joe Gomez will be in space, but Conor Bradley's thinking twice because like obviously I know this ain't your position and you're not really a pivot man. So like they're going around him. So again, I agree with you. Shout out to McAllister because he knows that he's going to have to compensate for where Joe Gomez lacks in there. And shout out to Bobby Clark as well, man, because I mean, you're old enough, definitely, but it's a bit of a job to do to have to come on and know that you're replacing like somebody like Curtis Jones, who's been one of our star performers this season.
Yeah. A bit of a shout out to Nottingham Forest as well. They were wasteful, but they had some moments in there. Origi tried to.
What's his name as well? Nico Williams as well, bro. Was
even freaking Hudson Odoi. Who was it that put Bradley on his bum in the box? I know you remember that.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see it. I just saw what Hudson Odoi done to Joe Gomez. where he tried to
Yeah,
chop him in half.
I think there was a time when I saw Bradley. It's Conor Bradley. Definitely Conor Bradley. Like he was definitely on his bum, like at least on his knees, and just hoping for the blood of Jesus to take over from that point. But can't remember.
Nah,
who it was.
you know what? Conor Bradley, this is what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted at the start anyway, yeah. But Conor Bradley, he's just focusing on Black Sonic, bro. He even switched off in that game, man. He's got bigger fish to fry, bro. We're waiting for Man City.
That's what I was going to move on to. Like, you've got, is it Sparta Prague, right? Europa.
Sparta Prague, yeah.
And then you've got Man City at Anfield.
Yeah.
So
next week.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So Joey, are you saying it's probably a good time you're getting a couple of players back as well? Probably to try and get
Who's back for that game? Salah back.
I don't know. There's rumors of him being back for that game. I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't bank on it because whatever we get back it's either gonna be. It's not gonna be the fully fit Salah, in my opinion. I think he's gonna be
Szoboszlai's back. Szoboszlai's back there, right?
Yeah, Szoboszlai, he came on for the last 10 minutes in this game, last 10, 15 minutes as well. He looked all right as well. So for me, if I think back to the last game we played, Man City, obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold was the linchpin in terms of how he was inverting.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not expecting the same from Conor Bradley, but we'll get a good job from him. It's a bit different though, playing against Man City this time round, man. I don't know if the spirit is going to be enough to carry us to 3 points, but I think obviously Anfield may just get us over the edge to at least get a point.
Where is it?
You got to hope Copenhagen do something. But City's got a 2-goal lead going into that. But if Copenhagen can make that tricky, then they got to bring out all their big guns in it, and then that might tire them out.
I think Copenhagen game's at Etihad, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think the last game was at Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll even be looking at that, to be honest, bro. In fact, they'll probably just treat that as a training game and just put our kids, man, because going to the Etihad seems to be a lot madder than I thought it would be, man. Because to be fair, I was going to say I told you lot so when Rashford scored that goal, and I thought United were going to nick a point, but
I think everyone knows that. We shouldn't expect anything from United moving forward. So that was the Liverpool game. And obviously moving on from that game, because obviously Arsenal play on Monday, that obviously Tottenham beat Crystal Palace 3-1. It was Berner, Romero and Son that turned the game on its head after Eze scored a beautiful free kick. Are we going to say resilient Spurs to come back and beat Palace, or are Palace just they're still not at that level to go on and beat like a Spurs team?
I'd say so. I think Spurs has just got a little bit more quality than I say a little bit. They've got way more quality than Palace at the minute. Palace they're playing well though. I think the game against Spurs was that the setup was probably a little bit similar to what you'd probably see from a Roy Hodgson team. To be fair, but yeah, they I think the pressing in that game was better as well. So I think moving forward, we'll probably start seeing the Palace looking a little bit better, probably from next season, maybe once the manager's able to get in a few of their players. Eze's a dope player, man.
Yeah,
if he could stay injury free, like he's right for the picking for a team, man.
Man, that free kick was sweet, innit?
God,
and I think he even won that free kick because who is it? I think Bentancur had to chop him in it.
Good player.
To be honest, if you think about it, like Palace kind of done all the right things because it was late in, I think it was like 77th minute they conceded.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, they're done all right, to get to that point, especially with their new manager, who I think like, obviously they got a bit of new manager bounce, but he's not like is it Glasner, isn't it? He's not like he's not a bad manager. Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed. They kind of fell apart at the end, but I think Palace can hold their heads up high, definitely for sure. Anything else to take from that game, from the Tottenham just bouncing on, just slowly doing what they're doing, going under the radar?
Yeah, that was a win.
It was a good response in it. They lost to Wolves, so it's important for them to respond. Obviously, they had about 2 weeks off, didn't they? So obviously, just them being Spurs or whatnot, they're not really our concern. I can't really see them posing us any issues in the way our league ends. But yeah, it was looking like a good, happy Saturday for me. Like everybody seemed to be dropping points, but yeah, Spurs, they've shown that tenacity, that resilience that they've showed under Ange. They play that their football is a lot more digestible, like for the neutral. Son was coming close like throughout the game, and it was good for him to kind of get on the score sheet. That would probably do him the world of good with obviously Richarlison being injured for a little bit and him going back into centre forward. Their goals were all right. I'm trying to remember them though. Like I think Maddison got an assist. I think Romero got a little header.
Timo Werner from
Timo Werner. Yeah. Timo
Werner had a lot of chances though that he scuppered.
But that's him though, innit? That's him. He does that. Yeah, because in the beginning, he did seem like he was scuppering a lot of chances. And then, I think he opened up the scoring. But yeah, man, I think Tottenham can take encouragement from that. I think Tottenham's got I think I said it before. Like, I don't know if you've got it in front of you, Dre, man, like what their fixtures are that coming up. But I remember looking
at Aston Villa next.
Yeah, so I think after Villa, though, I think it's pretty reasonable from then on.
Yeah, let me just see if I can. I did have it here somewhere.
But that's a big game for them, though. That's literally the top.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the main one. That's why I kind of focused on that one more than looking at the rest.
Yeah. That's a massive game, and obviously both teams are coming into form. Obviously, Villa they started off their game very well, but nearly they scuppered a 2-goal lead and won it in the dying minutes as well. So they'll probably take a little bit of confidence and resilience from that as well. So yeah, it should be a nice game, man. Should be a really big game, and from Arsenal, Liverpool, and City's perspective, they're not too far behind us. So knowing that they're going to be taking chunks out of each other, and maybe they're one or the other, or maybe both of them dropping points, is not bad for us from our perspective as well.
Tottenham still do have some important fixtures, though. Just looking ahead, like you said. They do have still to play Newcastle, which they should be all right with. But then they've got Man City, Arsenal, then Liverpool, back to back.
Oh, really? What month's that? No, that's got to be what, April?
Yeah, for April. I'm just looking ahead. But you said they're running to those are going to be tricky because if Tottenham are up there and they're playing all right, I don't know how that top of the table is going to look, if I'm honest.
Yeah. No, Tottenham definitely they're gonna have a say in where the title goes, man.
Definitely, and obviously they're playing Aston Villa next, and Villa beat Luton by 3-2. Standout performer Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
banging in the goals.
Yeah, his goals were. Ollie Watkins is having a great season, man. I think. I saw a stat saying that he's got the most goal contributions in the Prem this season, isn't it? Yeah, man.
Yeah, 16 goals, 10 assists.
What are you saying, those drives? You put something in the group saying that he hopes one day he's going to go to Arsenal.
Yeah, well, he said that in 2020. But how old is he now? He's getting on a little bit. I mean, that quote doesn't necessarily excite me that much. I mean, he's better than Nketiah now. I think Marley, you weren't convinced before, were you? About Watkins being better than Nketiah?
He's 28, isn't he?
I don't know. I think I said I don't know. I think my criticism of Watkins was I thought he was slow. I think that's all I've ever said about Watkins. I like him as a player.
Yeah, he is, man. I think he's better than Nketiah, but I mean, does he? So he moves the needle in some respects, but like in terms of when I'm saying that we're a striker away from being unstoppable, like I don't know if Ollie Watkins is that guy. You get what I mean? So yeah, man.
I think he's a better choice than at this moment in time. I think he fits in Arsenal's team better than Tony. Though I don't know why they're similar in the sense, but I think he would work a little bit more. I don't know.
You think that's
question? Yeah,
I think he is. I think Tony's a better profile because he's very different to what Arsenal already have. Whereas Ollie Watkins is a mixture of Nketiah or Jesus in terms of
Yeah,
he wants to play on the last shoulder.
off the shoulder, man.
He's not back to go all the time. So yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask a question, Dan. Do you think if Arsenal managed to get Luiz last year, do you think they would have got Declan Rice? No, innit?
No, definitely not.
I don't think they would have now.
Probably worked out in your favour.
I don't know what that would have looked like because Luiz is good. He's good. He's dope as well. But
yeah, it's good. Douglas Luiz is cold, bro. Very, very cold.
Oh, but I don't think we would have, to be fair. Because just like we were in for Caicedo, we got Rice. We didn't go for him anymore.
Yeah, probably worked out in your favour. I think Declan Rice is probably the player you actually needed. To be fair, Douglas Luiz is dope, but I don't think he would have had that much of an impact to Arsenal so quickly. I don't think.
Yeah. I think it's worked out. Yeah, I think I make it right, man. I think it's worked out perfectly for us. Like Declan Rice, you almost forget how much you paid for him. You know what I mean? And normally that's the first thing you're leading with. Like I was expecting. Well, I wasn't expecting, but I was like having my one compartment of my mind that we're gonna get chance of. Oh, you look at you, like you spent 100 and X, Y, and Z for Declan Rice, blah blah blah, having to beat those, but we haven't had to answer such calls at all this season. Like if anything, we've asked a bit more.
Only in the West Ham game.
But he got his get back, bro.
He did. That it didn't end up being a penalty, or they missed a penalty in it. So I think he kind of
yeah. Oh, what, when they nearly 3-0'd us?
Yeah.
Crazy, but yeah, I think I was happy with Luton anyway. They're almost like Nottingham Forest. They've got that never say die kind of attitude. They play half decent football as well.
Who's that? Luton.
Yeah, I thought they did all right.
Yeah, Ross Barkley was on fire.
All Luton do, is they frustrate you. They frustrate you. They frustrate you, provoke your energy, and they'll scare you for no reason and just lose in the final minute.
The crowd as well, man.
That's all they do, bro.
Small
they'll
crowd,
just lose in the final minute. They tricked. You know what they done? They got that result against Liverpool, and we thought, okay, cool. Chelsea first smoked them, innit, 4-2. Then they got that result against Liverpool. We started to be like, they're not pushovers. Then Arsenal. They raised our blood pressure for what reason? But then every single time, bro, Luton will just be making you hope. And then they'll just
Luton is good value for money, man. I don't want to see them go, man, if I'm honest.
Yeah, they're looking better. When I think the first few games of the season, you thought they were just going down and you just thought good riddance, bro. But they've come into their own, man. Like they're actually looking like somewhat more of a Premier League team. They might get relegated.
Bro, they're just buff losers, bro. That's what they are, man. They make losing look good.
Oh, mate. Quickly, before we round this up, before we just do a little highlight of Arsenal's next game. Chelsea drew 2-2 with Brentford. Yeah.
There's one Chelsea fan that sometimes I catch him on like the online circuit. I forgot his name at the moment. He is so done with Pochettino. I think his name, it might be, I think his name's Rory. Rory Jennings. I think he's on TalkSport sometimes. He is so done with Pochettino. So,
have you seen the timeline? There's a timeline on Twitter where he's talking about when Pochettino first came, and then like how his opinion of him has changed up until. Bruv, it is the funniest. I'll find it. I'll put it in the group.
No, you need to link me into that because, bruv, his channel just pops up on my suggestions now because I go on his channel to just laugh. He is so pissed. He's so pissed with Chelsea, man. But the only thing that annoys me about him as well, he gaslights other fans. Like it's him that made me start believing Arsenal's gonna win the league last season, bro. He was so gassed. I was like, wow, like does this guy support? I didn't even know who he supported. I thought he supported Arsenal. That's how much he was gassing Arsenal. And then I realized he was a Chelsea fan. I thought, this guy, bro, he tricked me, bro. But he cracks me up. But yeah, man.
What are we saying though? Poch on borrowed time.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's weird? He's got another little FA Cup run that could save him, innit? But that's it, really.
That's when you say save him, what do you mean? Like it's just buying more time, or?
No, bro. If Pochettino can win a trophy in his first season for Chelsea, it buys him more time and like immediately, like the fact, like we're talking about a day out at Wembley. We're talking about a day of triumphant, a day of jubilation. Which, like, yeah, bro, of course that does that and does everything, bro. Trophies is, bro. There's no. I don't think there's many other substitutes for winning them trophies, bro.
Who's still in the FA Cup? Is there any big team? I know we got Man United next.
Yeah, yeah. So you and Liverpool and United. Obviously, you guys are going to eliminate one another. Obviously Chelsea's in there. I'm trying to remember.
Man City, you know?
City.
Man City, yeah.
Oh.
True.
They got no chance, man.
No, they got big players there, but in a cup game, you just never know, man.
Nah.
What did Chelsea need to not be shit?
Like what new owner who doesn't?
Is it players, owners, a coach? Or players,
no, I think I honestly think it's probably just time and gelling. I don't think Poch will be sacked this year because Bowley's not going to sack. That 3 managers is sacked in 2 years. You know, you probably need to give managers time based on how frugal, not frugal, basically how excited he's been in the market and the buying of players. You need to give a manager time to gel. So my initial thought was I thought Poch will do well, but I think he needs a lot more time than I thought he needed.
So do you think Poch can get the best out of this current team if they didn't sign more players? Do you think it's going to be more of the same?
Well, he said he wants.
I think he could because he's had more time with them and they're a bit more experienced in the Prem after one season. So hopefully, if he doesn't get any additions, I think he can do better than what he's doing now.
Sorry, quick one. Marley, you said the best. What do you think the best is of this team, though? Because I don't necessarily have a high opinion of these players as a group. Individually, I think a lot of some of them, but not as a group, though.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're this of a standard to be good, bruv. I don't think this crop of players can achieve top 4 or win the Premier League. I think they need a lot more. Like so for me, they need to buy more.
I think the best team is probably like top 6 or top 8.
Yeah, I'd say
that's
so.
what I see as the best individually.
But let's say, and I think sometimes it just comes down to like how good a manager can be, because no one envisaged Brighton would do what they did, but De Zerbi was the one that was able to spearhead it. So I think, and if you looked at the players they were well under
Potter though as well, though.
No, but again, look at the players there as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Chelsea got the players though.
But if you look at Chelsea, the players that were doing well at Brighton, Caicedo, Cucurella, they're both there. Then you've got Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
No, but he was doing well at Brighton. That's what I'm saying.
He was.
So
People did rate him.
If you look at the clientele of players that are at Chelsea now, they are good enough if they give him more time to gel. Because if you look at Brighton's team, now you look at Chelsea's team, it's like Chelsea's team is a lot better than Brighton's team.
Yeah,
in terms of I think the personnel they have.
I think so. I think Brighton have definitely kicked on since Potter. But I don't think. Players like Cucurella. I think Cucurella would have. You know when the snake sheds their skin, like and then you got a new top. I think Cucurella was one of them players that needed to be shedded, bro, from the Brighton team. I don't think Cucurella's that live. Obviously,
we say this about Brighton, but they're not having the greatest of times at the moment, though. If you think about it, they're a bit sketchy.
Their squad's not that big in it, and they're playing in Europe. So, but if they just had that one game a week, they'll still be competing a lot better than they are right now. The squad's not big enough right now.
Della, just to your point, you were saying that Brighton, for example, they've not got great individual players, but they've been able to.
No, they've got decent, but not. But Chelsea, it's on par or thereabouts.
So they're kind of like overachieving in terms of their positions where they're finished.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think one thing about Brighton is that we can probably go on YouTube and find loads of videos analysing how they play, their style of play, and what De Zerbi has brought to them, what Potter has brought to them. I don't know if we can do that for any of Pochettino's teams, because obviously I think he's been a decent manager at Spurs and he's had a decent run. But when he was manager of Spurs, I don't think there was any kind of like system or defining thing to say that this guy is a manager that can take the system from Spurs to another team and do well. So that's the one thing I'm worried about him being able to get better from these players. Whereas if it wasn't the Zerbi and something, then I'd be more confident in that.
Yeah. To your point, as I said, maybe it's not Poch, but I think the players are good enough to do a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
And I think maybe Poch, if he has one more season, those same sort of players who are one more experience in the Prem, maybe they have a better turnout.
That's what I was going to say though. How long do you give a Chelsea? Because they've spent a lot of money, they've invested heavily in a squad. Like I know you said they gel together, but at what point do they go, guys, what's going on here? Like,
who are you asking? Are you?
Go on. No, go on.
Are you asking how long do you give the manager or the players, or is it how long do you give the person who's made the decision to go out and buy the way they've bought? Because it's not been done anywhere in the world before, and they've decided to do something brand new that hasn't worked. I don't know how much to blame the players and the manager are in that.
Yeah,
so what are you asking
agree.
for time to be given to because you should be talking about the decision makers really and truly, because they're the ones who have had a howler, in my opinion.
Yeah, so if the decision makers want to make it work, they probably need to give someone a bit more time. So that's why I think Poch ain't going to go this season at least. I know.
And probably give them a bit more power in decision making as well, because
I'll get rid of Poch in the summer if I'm being honest. I don't think he's got the juice, but I think if you're going to get rid of him, you also need to invest. But I don't know their strategy, because it doesn't appear, to your point, Julius. I don't think they're consulting the manager. Maybe Pochettino didn't get enough of a say on the players that were brought in, and it seems like under Chelsea because they've still got so many like these young youths that are coming in. I think they've got a couple of meant to be promising players that are coming in the summer, so they've already been signed off the back of I guess whatever research they've done. But again, that's just going to be Poch being given players and saying figure it out, and I don't see that's I don't think it's going to work.
It's not sustainable,
especially when a lot of those players already there, mate. They're on like 8-year contracts. I don't know if they're going anywhere.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know about Chelsea.
Anyway, just to round up, so obviously tomorrow, Strives, you guys Arsenal play Sheffield United away. I've heard that Timber is close on a comeback, but he's not quite back. And then apparently, are you going to have Partey back soon or for that game? Or I'm not sure.
I think they're both in training, man. So I don't know if you're one of them people that take in like training videos and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're one of those people that enjoy that content, you'll see them in there. It's quite good to watch. I'm seeing Timber like tracking down Saka at times, putting in tackles. Obviously, they're making it look good, but it's brilliant from an Arsenal fan's perspective. That's just been salivating at the prospect of having your full squad available and seeing some of your heavy hitters coming back into the fray. So, yeah, man. I don't know if Partey is going to be available for the squad, because each time I believe he's going to be available for a match day squad, he's not. But yeah, if he is, that'll be a huge boost, man. Huge boost for us still.
But there's no real cause for concern for you tomorrow, is there really?
I don't take that approach, man. You see, with like when it comes to like just the Premier League in general and Arsenal, man, like anything can happen, man. Anything can happen, man. So yeah, but obviously you would expect like Sheffield United, they've conceded like they're probably like
66.
One of the worst teams for conceding goals in the Premier League, and at the moment we can't stop scoring it. So if you're going by form and you're going by like what's meant to be, if you think football is just a scientific game where you can calculate the outcome of football games on XG and XG alpha and beta X and EX, all this garbage, then yeah, bro. But ultimately, the way football's played, I think Sheffield United's gonna like where their cup final. You see, like when you get to like the top levels at the upper echelon, like we're starting to experience the stuff like your Liverpools and your Man Cities and have been experiencing, where every game is a cup final. So you can't really take any fixture and believe that it's going to be a given. Like, so in fact, for the fact that you see me as well, there's a part of me that's just, I've seen every team look like they're going to give me a brilliant weekend, and then they've, from Nottingham Forest folding to Liverpool, from United, because I was a United fan today. Like, even though I'm wearing my Arsenal shirt, I was a United fan.
I was going to say you and Bods and I don't know, not so much Jerry, man. You guys are always relying on United, bro. When you know that we're in the sticks, bro.
No, it's not even like
You
we're
want us to
relying
get
on
you
it
results.
we're not relying because obviously Liverpool will have an opportunity to dent City themselves on Sunday, and
Yeah.
City's got to come and see us at the end of the month as well. Oh, well, I don't know why I'm saying it like that because we don't get no joy at the Etihad. But, you know, we can obviously fight for ourselves. But, yeah, it looked like it was going to be a good day. And then even, if you like, even Spurs being 1-0 down. So the way it just turned around from looking like a weekend of complete jubilation to a weekend of like doom, bruv, in terms of all your rivals picking up points, I wouldn't be surprised, bruv, if Monday turns out and then the final offer is a 1-1 or a 1-0 loss, some stupid result like that. But you would expect that we turn up like in fantasy football, in fantasy Premier League that I play. I've made Saka my captain, so I'm expecting Saka to leave with.
Who have you left out of the team?
We were left out. Oh yeah, it was Ollie Watkins this time still. But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm expecting Saka to leave with something. Obviously, he's seen his colleague Foden do something today, so he knows that whenever that happens, he knows he's got to leave with something. So I'm expecting Saka to do 2 goals and an assist, maybe a penalty with one of them as well. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. But at the same time, bruv, this is the Premier League, bro. The Premier League. Let's get this win enough. Let's get this win sorted. I think we got a little bit of a break. Then where's it, Porto? Then it's a 2-week break.
You got Brentford before Porto as well.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's it. Yeah, Brentford then Porto.
Yeah.
Right, and then after that, then we got a bit of a break, and then we see City. Yeah. So yeah, man, I think this. I personally think this is our most important month. It was definitely the most important month of our season when we had Chelsea, but obviously that game got postponed because they went through in the FA Cup. But I still think it's our most important month of the season. We could find ourselves in the quarterfinals of the Champions League and with a foothold in the title race if we win all our games this month, because City and Liverpool will take a dent out of each other. Liverpool's in the Europa. They've got this mounting injury concern. If we're getting our players back, if we can win all our games, we could go into April with a marginal lead, and then it's time to see what Arteta's made of. We'll see if he can cross that finish line, and we'll see if I was wrong or not wrong, because I haven't said he can't. We'll just see. We'll just see what I want. Yeah.
That's fair. But I was gonna say, when you guys play City, you saying like, would you say if you drew that game, would that be a good result?
If we draw that game, it will be a relief.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, bro. City give us that work without fail, bro. Give us that work at the Etihad without fail. But obviously this season, City haven't enjoyed playing us. Community Shield, we beat them. In the Prem, we beat them. They haven't enjoyed playing us, and they won't enjoy playing us. We're definitely not gonna play like how you man played. It's gonna be a good game. You know what I mean? But also, what I do know is they have the mental edge on us, especially at the Etihad. So if we get a draw, I'm relieved, bro. A win, God knows what I'll be like if we won.
I think that mental edge is, I don't know if it's there anymore,
Maybe for the likes of you guys, but
no. I think I'm talking about for Arsenal, and I think I think Arteta has shown that he can cook tactics up on the day. He did it against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's done it against City, I think, maybe once or twice. And I think Pep is going to probably do his best. Sometimes Pep likes to overtinker and it messes them up. But I'm just thinking of head-to-head, and I'm imagining, obviously, watching the Man United and City game and where their attacks were coming from. And I'm just kind of superimposing that Man City team against Arsenal. And I'm thinking, Doku, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's got a chance of, breaking down your right-hand side. Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden will be the biggest threats on the pitch. And I think Saliba and Gabriel, I think they're excited to play against Haaland.
I agree with you there. There was a question I want to ask, to everyone. Obviously, I know it's an Arsenal segment, so you're probably expecting me to have all the answers. But you see, how we're enjoying the football that Arsenal's playing. Havertz is is in a vein of form that we can get behind now. If we get all our players back now, does it kind of almost become a little bit of a, we got to figure out our best team all over again, and could maybe even put us in a situation where of uncertainty, where like, like Partey's back now. Because if you like watch a lot of interviews, all the Arsenal players will tell you Partey's like one of, if not like the best player in the team, whatnot. So you'd think that he comes straight back into the team. But what about the guy you like to? Because in my opinion, Havertz doesn't make our best team, even though he's been one of our better performers recently. But do you go with what your mind says? Like, okay, play your best team on paper, or do you stick with what's been working and you bed these guys in? Like, what would you guys think in that regard?
Do what Pep did when he won the treble. What Della was talking about with Marley.
Got to play best
like
team.
obviously we think Foden is better than Grealish, but why would I change it, bro? If like this guy's coming back from injury and the guy that's in the team is playing,
they'll take time with people like Partey coming back as well. Like,
you have to, man.
Injuries, stuff like that. The way I think your players are coming back now, it's almost like crucial end of the season. Don't rush them in to just throw them into the deep end anyway. They'll probably want to get like the minutes under their belts, make sure that they're fully fit before they start throwing them into the games. And I think maybe, who knows, he might see like a change of heart when he goes into the big games, Strives, in terms of like your cities. Maybe he might look to Partey and go, let's try to get your fitness back for that major game at the end of the month. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it's better to have them at your disposal than not to have them. But obviously, when they play, they got to be fit. So if they're not fit, then there's no point playing them in these big games. So I think he will slowly bring them back in, and then eventually he will resort to his best team. I think that's what he will do.
I think I make you right there. I think it would be wise of him to maybe to bed obviously the players in slowly, but. For me, I was just intrigued. Like, I wonder if, like, cool, bed them in slowly, but how slowly? Because we are at the business end of the season. Like, do you just think, cool, he's back? Like, I need to get him in sooner rather than later, and then our midfielder comes, let's say, a Partey, Odegaard, and Rice, or I haven't done enough to. He's now, he's now first on the team sheet.
But different games will require have different requirements. But essentially, to what Dre said and what Jules has already said, is you can't just fling in the likes of Partey and Jesus or all these other guys coming back in just because they are the better players. If they're not fit, it's a detriment to the team. So I imagine against Sheffield United, they'll all feature in some parts. Maybe they'll come on, and then you've got the game against Brentford. I think essentially what Arteta want to do is really get them up to speed for the Porto game, because he will need all of his players fit and ready to have an impact. Then after the Porto game, I think there's like a week or two before you don't play City. So I think essentially for him, it's just literally giving people enough game time. And I think I've heard a few things where he's saying we haven't really had someone like Partey for the whole of the season. So we don't really need to go and rush him now. Let's get him so he's ready and he can last.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The rest of the season, as opposed to just flinging him in and he just gets injured again and we're back to square one.
Cool. Before we round up quickly, we just do a quick back pages segment. Just quickly go around the room just before we end the episode. Start with Molly Ma.
I'm gonna go for Foden. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Foden. Came up trumps. Similar to Saka. Obviously, Saka, who's been in the news as of this week and last week, and came out on the pitch and showed why people hold him in such high regard. And I think Foden done the same thing today. Just came out and done his thing. So yeah, Foden for me.
De La Strada.
Honourable mention to Areola, because I think he had a blinder against Everton, and I think if it wasn't for him, West Ham don't leave with the 3 points. But back pages has to go to Ollie Watkins. 2 goals yesterday. Informed striker. I think he's only second to Haaland in terms of goals and assists. So yeah, give it to him.
Strives.
Yeah, I'm gonna give mine to McAllister. McAllister for Liverpool. I thought he put an esteemed performance, and I really respected that delivery into Nunes in like the final minute, final second, in that moment of a game that had such high stakes.
Cool. Joey?
Yeah, I think my pick had a great performance on Saturday, game changer. Obviously, a lot of people have said some bad things about him, and he just got through the adversity and delivered the points in an away game at City Ground. So yeah, my back pages goes to Paul Tierney.
Okay, sick.
No, we need this.
I knew it was going to be Nunes. Yeah, mine's going to be Foden as well. The guy is at playing, I don't know, man. He's unplayable. And I can't lie, his celebration's just pissing me off. But yeah, good luck to him.
Why is he doing gun fingers, bro? What's so
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
There's some nasty tweets going out about this guy's celebration. I'm not going to repeat them, bro, because they're distasteful, bro. Some nasty tweets, bro.
What kind of distasteful? What
distasteful to him and the fact that when his mum was in the arms house.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. They're very rude, bro. Very rude.
Yeah. But yeah, he's doing his thing, man, and I expect him to keep scoring until the end of the season. He's just on fire. But yeah, it's been eventful, lads. Great first online episode. We hope the listeners still listening in, and we hope it's all clear for you. And we'll be back same time, same place next week.